welcome to my cyberspace. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to load in a CSV or a flat file in Python using Visual Studio Code. Now let's get right into it. So first thing first is you want to head over to your browser. You need to at least have a data. So let's try to get the data from Kaggle. And in case you don't know what Kaggle is one of the top data platforms to get data sets, which is for free. If you want to know how to use Kaggle well, you can check out one of my videos. I explain that. So we go to data sets. Then we just pick up any data, but I think this sounds quite nice. Global crocodile species. So we click on this and we click on download, and you just click on the download zip file. So try to open it up and let's try to copy the data. So the reason why we want to place this in the right folder is such that it's going to be helpful for us, and just for the purpose of organization, I would recommend you really organize your data in the right way. So I copied this already and want to head over to open Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code. So we are going to open this up. So we have this open up already, but the best thing is we create a folder for our project. So I would recommend that we create this folder. So I'm trying to create a folder here. So let me just probably make this, call this Python folder. And in one of my videos I talked about best practices on a data expert, and for keeping proper folder is the right thing. So in case you're using different tools, so let's assume you're using Python and this is like our first project. Let me call this first project. For yourself, you can call this anything you like, or you could put this in any folder you want. So I know this is in first project and that's all I want. So what you would do is you just click on open folder. If you're not seeing open folder, you could click on file, you would see open folder. So we try to click on open folder. I know where this is, so I don't need to try to look for it to find it, and we click on first project. So that's going to be the folder that I select. So do you want to save the changes? I had some things open up initially, so it might not pop that for you. So first few things, remember that we downloaded the data and I just wanted to copy and paste the data here. So I could do this, but instead of just pasting data here, let me cut this and probably paste the data in a folder within this. So I could create like a new folder called like data. So that's one way to be well organized. So that's something that we see, but our main folder is still the first project folder. So you see what I created is here already. So that's the beauty of it. So the question is, how do you load in a CSV file? We already have our data. How do we load this into Python and using Visual Studio? So there are a few steps we need to do. First few thing is you want to ensure that you have Python extension. In the previous video I talked about how to download Python. So we have Python extension. So for you, you're just going to still install. For me, it's installed already. And that thing I would recommend is you want to use get to have Jupyter. So it's spelled, and I mean everyone gets the spelling wrong almost at the same time. Click on Jupyter and you have it installed. The question is, you might be wondering, what is Jupyter, what is Python? So Python itself is a language, while Jupyter Notebook is there's Python file tab is a .py file, which is a little bit static, but it doesn't have a lot of interaction that would really help you make great comments or just make your code more organized. So especially if you're just learning, I would recommend you use a IPYNV file, which is a Jupyter Notebook. So we have Jupyter Notebook already. That was why we have that extension. So one thing we would need to do is to so we just click on the search. You might see show and run command, or you create new. So you then need to search for create new So just I have it here. Just search the same thing, create new Jupyter notebook. You search it here. If it's not popping up for you, just come to the search bar and do shift, click on your greater than sign, and it's going to come. So I have this create new Jupyter notebook. So first thing is you need to choose a kernel. So a kernel is like the machine or engine that makes your the Jupyter notebook work properly. So I can click on this. So a kernel is selected already for you. It's going to ask select another kernel, but let me just try to select another kernel and just select another kernel, Python environment. So I could just click on, I have Python installed already. So that is this is a global environment, but I want to create a virtual environment, a different environment that's going to help in case I want to install something and I don't want to install it generally. But easy way is just to probably click on this global environment. If you click on create Python environment, then you click on the VMV. So the VMV is the virtual environment. That's actually the full meaning. It means virtual environment. So then you see enter interpreter part and you click on this. So this might not still work while this is trying to load. The first few things you say is it needs Jupyter notebook also. The first few things we want to do is we also want to open our terminal, but I want this to run first of all before we try to do it. So that ran successfully. So we come to terminal and we click on new terminal. So now we want to create a new virtual environment. So for me, a virtual environment has been created already, but I want to X out of it. Just so this is one way. I will just click on or try to click on this drop down. So click on change this PowerShell. So if you create new terminal, so we see that right here for me a virtual environment has been created already, and I could try to create a new one. I could try to say that kill the terminal, but let's use the same. So this shows virtual environment created, but for you, if it's not showing, I'm going to show you how to get this. So right here I need to install Pandas. Pandas is what we need to use to be able to load in the CSV file. So I just do pip. So one way to know that I don't have Pandas installed, so you need to click on this code. If you click on code, you'll be able to write your code. If I do import Pandas as PD, so I see that this is still underlined, so I need to just click on right here in the terminal pip install. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Pip install Pandas. So and that should work. So it's going to install Pandas, and immediately that is installed, this underlined yellow sign is going to go off. So we see right, it went off. So pip install Pandas and could run this. So you just need to install like Pandas one. So I have import Pandas. So I run this. This is like the play sign, and I click on a new code, or I just come here, click on a new code, just over around this. So I want to load in my data, and I know that my data is in this data folder, but I need to put it in a container. So I could call this df, which is data frame, or you could call this anything you want. Next thing I do is I do pd.read. So the pd is, instead of calling Pandas, is full, so that's why I'm calling pd. So you can put another thing, but just flow with what everyone has been using. Underscore to read CSV, because I'm using a CSV file. So I'm just going to do data, or wherever your data is. If it's you didn't put it in the data folder, you can just put it. You can just call the data file name in itself. Remember the quotation. If you don't put the quotation, it might not work. And .csv. And so this in itself is just putting it in a container. I need to still like call it forth. I could just do that in a different and df.head. So df.head is just saying I want to see the first 5 rows, and I'm going to see. So right, this should work. Now some errors you might encounter is so this is showing that it's not saved yet. So this is saved. So let me just control S. So I want to save the file. So maybe I'm trying to save the file, right? I save it as first file. So it's saved already. Something else that it could happen is, let's say I try to do this and it did not work. I go to show and run command, create Jupyter notebook, and I try to select a kernel, and I say maybe select Python environment. So it's recommended to just try to, if none of this is not working for you, let's try to close this out and let's open let me try to open a new folder. Let's just call this second project. And so this is some of the common issues, second projects. So one thing you could do so that it doesn't mess up, and also I do VS Code, try to open this up. Let's say you run into any error. So I just click on file. I want to open that second project folder. And I select this. So let me just save. At this point, I'm not saving. So I've just opened this up, open folder, second project, and I click don't save. So right now I don't have anything here. So first few things you want to do is you want to click on terminal. You might also want to create a virtual environment. You notice that I don't have that same stuff here. So you just write Python -m, and you want to create a virtual environment. So the virtual environment is, remember, is venv virtual env. So that's it. I want to call my virtual environment my env, so any name you want to call it. So that's, if you notice, it's created already, but I need to activate this virtual environment. So if you try to click on, if I click on mine and I just so what I did was I just clicked on what it started with, and I clicked on tab, and it brought everything in full. So there's this script folder, so I try to click on scripts, click on tab again, and there is activate. So I click on activate. So if I click on activate, then so right now you see that my virtual environment is activated already. So then you could come here to either a new file or whatever it is, or still create show and run command, create Jupyter notebook, and you could select the kernel, Jupyter environment, then select the environment, and you'll be good to go. So if this video was a value for time, do well to like, subscribe, and follow. In the other videos, I'm going to be talking more about some complicated things you could do with Python. And thank you.